I'm Josh then,
I'm Banks then.
and we are then, therefore, shall be, always will be, odd places.
Going wild. Oh, no, not wild.
Yes, yes, we are going wild, aren't we?
We're going viral.
I'm keeping my shirt on though, I
All right,
promise.
me too. I'm putting my shirt on. So, Josh, do you have a Trudy?
Do I have a Trudy?
You have a Trudy.
Is this your Trudy that's like the gel between two people? I remember you mentioning.
Yeah, yeah. Trudy is oh, I like Joe. Trudy is the space between people in a relationship. So you know what it is? It's actually the relationship. Trudy
It is the real. Okay, it's the actual relationship, or is it like the social lubrication of the relationship?
no. It is. I, I like gel, but it's actually the space
Okay.
between. It's the space between two people in a relationship, and Trudy can be in many. I only know Trudy between two people. So you and I have a Trudy, and that morphs and changes and gels and stretches and moves with time. Um, and it, I believe, moves and changes. We don't. So you basically pretty much stay the same. I pretty much stay the same. It's Trudy that changes between us.
Right. So I see things a little different because what I hear from you, I hear that we are like these pieces of metal, and then Trudy is the gasket. Trudy's the caulking between two immovable objects. I prefer to think of us as constantly changing, and that I think Trudy gets, if there is a Trudy, we're part of it also. I don't know that we're so unchangeable and immovable.
Okay. So we have talked about transformation. We have transformed in our past. We change. We get older. I guess in a relationship, and I've been in a relationship before where I tried to change the other person, and I attempted. My God, if she was just this way, it would be
Yeah.
so much easier. And I realized by doing that, I was changing, not her. When I tried and tried, it made me get to the point where I pull back and go, you know what? I'm either getting out of this or I'm going to create something which I can define, which is Trudy.
So it was like you were trying to do metal on metal, and it was
Yeah.
very abrasive, and it
Yeah.
wasn't working.
No, my God, no.
So okay, so let's define Trudy. Here's what I'll give you. Let's define Trudy as the part of ourselves that we're willing to allow be malleable, that we're willing to um, give up a little bit and not be so staunch in our beliefs and our person, that we can be a little more soft on that part. And that softness, maybe that's the Trudy. That's part of the Trudy.
Okay. So you're saying Trudy is part of us.
Yeah.
I'm saying Trudy is a whole different person, whole different thing, entity, whatever you want to. I don't think it's us, because here's what I go into a
Yes.
relationship, I give this. Okay, you go into the relationship, you give that. Listen, you and I, friends, you give something, I give something, and that is Trudy, not me.
Yeah. So I could see that. Let me ask you a question though. When a relationship fails, do you blame it on Trudy? Whose fault is it when a relationship fails? This is my concern.
Wow.
My concern is it's too easy to blame Trudy and not take responsibility because, well, Trudy just didn't do her job. Trudy should have been there to smooth out all the the rough edges and
Okay.
be my lubrication, my gasket.
Got it. So in the relationship of two people, there are actually three entities. There's the person A, person B, and Trudy. Okay. So there's three of us that have to get along. Somehow we have to be defined or define this Trudy element. Now, I do not blame Trudy for, you know what it is? Trudy is a description of what is the space between us in a relationship. I don't blame Trudy. You
Don't
trying to
blame Trudy. Okay, it's a very slippery slope because I can see people actually blaming Trudy, and I feel so bad for Trudy already. Like my heart goes out to her, it, him. I don't know what gender Trudy is.
any gender or
How does
just
Trudy identify? Does Trudy identify with anything?
I look at Trudy as non-sexual, yeah, it does not have a gender. Genderless. Genderless.
Genderless.
Yeah. So,
Could have called it Pat.
so so there's no blaming Trudy. Trudy is this amalgamation of what you give and what they give and how that intermixes between it.
So if there's no blaming Trudy, then we have to blame person A and person B together. They both share equally or somehow in the blame if a relationship doesn't work out. So then what's the point of having Trudy? Yeah, it's just.
All right. Oh, hang on. Why blame? Why do we need to use blame?
In the sense of responsibility, in the sense of a learning process, like what did I do wrong? Could have I done something better? What can I apply to my next relationship to help it become successful?
I agree. I'm with you entirely. However, you grow apart. I mean,
okay.
Your high school girlfriend, did you marry your high school girlfriend, by the way?
Not my high school girlfriend, no.
Your whoever was the main girlfriend in high school, you did not marry her. I mean, you went apart. I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah.
We come together,
right.
we realize I don't want to be around this person. I don't want to hang out with this person, or this person is not good for me, or is toxic, or I just got to get out of this. It's a bad Trudy. And you're right.
Oh, it's a bad, yeah, you just did it. It's a bad Trudy. This is a slippery slope, man. This is like the gateway drug to blaming others. Be careful with your Trudy, right? Yeah. Treat your Trudy well. Like, it's not Trudy's fault if it doesn't work out. And I agree with you. We shouldn't always blame, because you're right. Things sometimes shouldn't work out, and that's okay.
Shouldn't work out. They just don't work out. It just doesn't work. I mean,
and they shouldn't. If it's not a good fit, they probably shouldn't work out either, right?
I don't like to use shouldn't, but however, I'll let you use that. That's your word.
Thank you.
You like to use.
Oh, that's right. That's a sacred word. I forgot. We're shitting on ourselves. Oh my goodness, we shouldn't do that. Sorry.
So you're right. I still have this way of blaming Trudy. I like to, like I said earlier, I like to use it as a definition of what it is we have. I'm giving this, you're giving this, and that makes Trudy. And if I give more, Trudy morphs a little more. You give more, you give less, I give less. Trudy is the time we spend together. Trudy is the energy that we give each other. Trudy is the text that we give, the phone calls, the FaceTimes, the intimacy. That is all Trudy.
I think we all have a little Trudy inside ourselves.
How? Trudy's outside of us. Trudy is Trudy is what you give to that relationship.
But Trudy has to come from somewhere. Does it not come from us a little bit?
Okay. Oh, I get your point. Trudy does come from us. However, Trudy is not Trudy until the entity is outside you.
Okay, but we have to source it. It comes from our energy and our thoughts and feelings and character and personality.
Yes. Yeah.
So Trudy feeds off of us. Trudy's like a parasite. That's a really negative way of saying.
Trudy comes from us. However, Trudy, hang on, here you go. So my kids were born, of course, and they were at my time, my wife's body. They were not a person, to my knowledge, until they got out. So that, I'm using this as an analogy, my kids. So part of my wife at the time until they got out, and then all of a sudden they are individuals, they are people, they are.
Okay.
And that's kind of like what Trudy is. Trudy is not the physical aspect. Trudy is the emotional,
so
space between us.
You're saying Trudy is the birth of a relationship. Trudy is what happens when a relationship is birthed.
Trudy is not the birth, though.
Not the birth, but it's the result of the birth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You meet somebody, you see them, you have a connection. Trudy begins. And Trudy only... Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it's the afterbirth. Right. Well, it comes after the birth. I mean,
Trudy only exists if you give something to that relationship. If you do not give anything to the relationship, there is no Trudy. However, there could be a Trudy if only one person gives everything and the other person gives nothing or very little. You know, that Trudy is almost, not alive.
What happens to Trudy when a relationship breaks up? Does Trudy die? Is it dead? Does it have a soul? Does it live on? Does it latch on to us? Does it stay with us?
I don't know. I've only invented Trudy in the past. Maybe no. I've been mulling around Trudy for like maybe a week, maybe two, maybe a week. Yeah, Trudy has been around for a week, and I thought, wow, I gotta talk to Josh about it.
I like this Trudy theory. This is good.
Thanks. I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd Places going.
Straight up and away, viral.
Yeah.